Today, we go to the bookshelf. It's gonna be you. I'm just not gonna give up without a fight. Let's get domesticated. This is a name that I feel like I have known all my life, and you just connect it with domestic life and cooking, and it's Martha Stewart. And just like me here, she trained herself to cook following Julia Child's Mastering the Art of French Cooking. That's all we have in common. Besides that, she's just your typical icon, you know? An empire, a brand, Martha Stewart Inc. Most famous homemaker ever, right? Move over, Isabella Beaton. She presented an ideal of what it could be like in your home, in your kitchen. Beautifully crafted, home-cooked meals without breaking a sweat. I'll be honest, the thing that I know the most about Martha Stewart is just her name. So why do I have this cookbook? Great question. I found it in the laundry room of my apartment. I've told this story once before. You can check out the Fanny Farmer video where I go into a little more detail about that. But this is the Martha Stewart Cookbook, and this is a culmination of so many of her cookbooks that came before it, all these recipes in one big old book here. Yeah, it is a found book, and there is a receipt in this book for $17.99 for this book, August 28th, 1996. It honestly looks like I'm the first one that has ever opened this book. I was looking for some of Martha's most well-known recipes. I mean, she's got so many of them, but what are people talking about? People said the cheesecake is the bomb. So cheesecake with glacéed berries. This is the very richest, smoothest cheesecake. The finely ground almonds used to dust the pan are a pleasing contrast to the silkiness of the cake. Let's make it. So I need, this is where I keep my baking stuff. There it is. I need an 8x3-inch cake pan. Channeling our inner Julia Child here, generously buttering up the cake pan. She said you want that pleasing contrast of ground almonds in this thing. So I'm going to dust the inside of the pan with them, 1/4 pound, which is around 113 grams. And I have exactamo. So I'm gonna use the small sieve here. I was thinking this, yeah. Dust the inside of the pan with 1/4 pound worth. I mean, that's excessive. So I think she just means a light dusting, just like as if you're flouring a cake pan. That's my guess. Tricking me right off the bat here. I think that's sufficient. Bowl me. Thank you. So I got 4 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. Not the spread, the blocks. And yes, it was in the fridge, but also it was on the counter for a little bit too, so it is softened. I think that's what Martha would want. She doesn't specify. So 1/2 cup of heavy cream is around 125 milliliters. And 1.5 cups, 300-ish grams of sugar. Arm myself with the granny. Mix until smooth. It's a full bowl. Smooth. So you're gonna need 4 eggs. Lightly beaten. Grated zest of a lemon. I know that the proper way is to have the zester on top of the lemon, doing it this way. Sometimes this is just faster. As long as you don't get the white stuff in there, you're good. The pith. Okay, just do it the other way because you just grated up your... Providing you don't grate up your finger, you can just do it the other way. The grated zest of 1 orange. You got the zester on top, fruit on the bottom. That way I'm more in control and I'm not grating up fingers. So 4 lightly beaten eggs, those go in first before the zest. And then you mix, and then you add the zest. Whoops. You're never gonna be able to tell, I guarantee it. Until smooth, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. That goes in with the zest. At this point, you can just mix it by hand into the prepared cake pan. So yeah, it is kind of just dawning on me right now that there is no crust for this cheesecake, which is kind of like, huh? Interesting. I like a cheesecake with like a graham cracker crust. You know, different strokes for different folks here, but is this one of the easier recipes I've ever made? Quite possibly, but I guess I'm allowed an easy one once in a while. I feel like the way I'm standing right now is very Martha Stewart. Now this cake pan goes into a slightly larger pan. Shimmy the cake pan to the side. And I have boiling water. Careful, careful. 3/4 of the way up the cake pan here. Into the oven, 325 degrees F. Hang out in there for 2 hours and adding more boiling water when necessary. Oven off, door ajar until that thing is cooled down completely. This is a vital step in the cheesecake making experience. It's all about the structure of your cheesecake. It's all about the presentation. You want it to look nice, no cracks. You know what? Let's go on coffee break. That way I can thank today's sponsor, Trade. So Trade is making it easy to experience America's best specialty coffees from the comfort of your own home. Simply tell them what you like, and whether you like it whole bean or ground, and Trade will curate perfect coffee matches in an instant for you. From hot, iced, dark roast to decafs or espressos to cold brew, they have it all. And I've been using Trade for the past year or so, and they've been solving all my coffee problems. There was only one, really, that I would run out. Then I would have to go to the store, where this is delivered right to me. I got my coffee rotation timed perfectly, too. Like when I run out, in comes another one. Trade now has new subscription options where you don't need to take a quiz. You simply choose from one of their collections. For me, I see a dark roast. I don't need to know anything else. I have yet to come across a dark roast bag of coffee from Trade that I didn't love. Love is a cliche word. How about admire? So give Trade a try to transform the way you experience coffee at home. They're offering your first bag free when you visit drinktrade.com/antichef and subscribe. Trade guarantees you'll love your first bag or they'll replace it for free. drinktrade.com/antichef and get your first bag free when you subscribe. Thank you, Trade. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our glacéed red strawberries. She specifies red. And I have what I think is 12 perfect large-ish strawberries. So I am keeping them whole, like so, and prepare. Saucepan, 2 cups of sugar. That's a lot. 1/2 cup of water. Like a medium-high heat, thinking. Until that sugar has dissolved, and I'm not stirring it with anything, just kind of swirl. Okay, once that's clear, I'm bringing it up to a rapid boil and cover. 3 minutes. She doesn't specify how you want to dunk your strawberries into the sugar syrup. Some bamboo skewers here. I was thinking something like so. You dunk. Okay. You're looking for around 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Close enough. In the strawberry goes. Just dunk it around all the red part. All around the red part, don't go on the green, and remove. These need to set, so they just hang out on a greased up baking pan. This Martha Stewart recipe today hasn't been the most challenging thing in the world, so I feel like I gotta do something here. Take something that I've learned along the way and incorporate it into this recipe. So I have a quart of strawberries. It's left over, it was just kind of backup strawberries in case I was looking for the most perfect strawberries. Right here, found them. These ones aren't looking so hot. I mean, they look fine now, but not tomorrow. Just remove the stem, just quickly hull. And I'm just gonna do these little thin slices. C'est ça. Now, take a roti. Of course, this whole idea here is inspired by the Queen herself. Julia Child, and this is kind of my take on the world's greatest strawberry sauce. I've made this one so many times before on Jamie and Julia. It's the best sauce ever for a dessert, and I'm just gonna kind of whip it up, but put my own little stamp on it also. That looks good. Now also this is a dessert you make, right? If you're not worried about the diet, you're not worried about the cavities, that's a cup of sugar. Under a cup of sugar, but close to a cup. Remember the lemon that I used the zest of the lemon here? I'm gonna extract the juice. And it's gonna be a couple that's what, 2 tablespoons there. Okay, so in total, this should be around 3-ish tablespoons of lemon juice. Hell yeah. That's insane. However, I was thinking one more thing here. If I heat some of that up, at the same time I take the strawberries into the pan. Let's cook that down for a bit. Let's make that kind of syrupy. Why don't we just do this until it coats the back of a spoon? I think this will look nice on this platter, right? So you gotta invert it. Not that easy. Re-invert it, because that's not coming out without a fight. Take a knife around it. Damn it. That's not good. I have an idea. I'm thinking this. Come on, you bastard. When you hear it drop, you know you've succeeded. Listen for the cake to drop. Come on, be good to me. Yes! Fairly subtle when it comes to decorating this. So maybe just a splash of my strawberry sauce in the center. Subtle, subtle. Maybe one more on top, what about that? Yeah, I think you've done everything you need to do. So why are you doing that? Order up! Whoa! What the hell? That's not cool. Look at the denseness on that, no cracks. I'm not crying, but I mean, maybe I am. Okay, so there you have it. Martha Stewart's cheesecake with glacéed berries. My interpretation of Julia Child's World's Greatest Strawberry Sauce with a little bit of an anti-chef touch. And we have something pretty special there. I would say that is around a 10 out of 10. It's perfect. I mean, you can't really pick up the ground almonds around. She was promising a pleasing contrast. That didn't really happen. The ground almonds just kind of vanished. And what would make this an 11 out of 10? Maybe 12, 15? The crust. If you had a graham cracker crust, that would be lights out. Sweet and creamy and just slightly tangy. Maybe a little sour because there's like little lemon zest and the orange zest in there, kind of citrusy. Also, strawberries, tart and sweet. Did I say sweet? This thing is the best. Now, as nice as those glacéed strawberries looked on top, you have the strawberry sauce, which kind of outshined the strawberry. They outshined, or it doesn't matter. When you took a slice of that cake, you wanted the strawberry sauce. The cake works without that sauce, but, well, that's it. That's all. This was Jamie and Martha. Bon appetit. Au revoir. See you later. I'm just not gonna give up without a fight. Oh, I just remembered that when I was living in Belgium a few years ago, I did make a cheesecake and it was phenomenal. I had a crust to it. It wasn't graham crackers, it was speculoos. And that's because you couldn't find graham crackers in Belgium, so I resorted to the speculoos, which kind of tastes like, it's kind of like a sibling to graham crackers, except it's like more like gingerbread kind of vibe. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that a speculoos crust with that cheesecake I just made. Dreaming.